Testing, 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 testing.
Sounds great.
ask for one more chair, but I can stand up. It's all right. Probably good with all that food. You can stretch. Thank you so much, Madison.
We need like an intro like theme if we're gonna do this.
Intro?
And like an intro theme song. Yeah.
All right, we live?
Is my mic on? Or
Are the mics
I don't know, man. It
Yep.
said I was muted. So are we on?
Oh,
Am I good? Okay, cool.
All right.
Oh, I hear myself.
All right, so I think we can good. I think we are good. All right, hey everybody. We are back again with our third. We are good. All right, hey everybody. I'm gonna shut this down here for a sec. Back again with there we go. We're back for our third installment of our live show, and we had so many requests after the first Prohormone show that we had back in October. I think it was October.
Yeah, it was.
That we wanted to do it again. You know, we got January coming up. A lot of people are bulking right now. Maybe they're going to start cutting in the new year. But we wanted to come back to Prohormones. And for that, I brought back the experts, which Edwin and Jordan. They've answered a lot of questions online. They've worked in the stores with a lot of people. So brought them back to do this again. So why don't we do another quick intro for people? This is their first show. Edwin, maybe give them your background.
Yeah. So I've been in the industry going on for 12 years now. So anything fitness related, supplement wise, I've been in this industry, been in the supplement industry for about 10 years of that. So, you know, general knowledge about supplements, I know like the back of my hand pretty much. Prohormones have been a very good basis of mine for the past almost 4 or 5 years. So going on to learn about all of them, any new ones that came out too, I brush up on them right away. I myself was an NPC bodybuilder before, did a few shows, and yeah, been with the company for about 3 years, going on 3 years now. So,
all right,
yeah,
excellent. There we go. And Jordan.
So my name's Jordan, and I have been with the company for almost 4 years now. I started out as a store guy, but now I work on the operations side. I mean, I've been training since I was in high school. As far as competing wise, that's something I plan to do one day. As of right now, no plans for that, but yeah, no, one day. Supplement knowledge, very well. Again, I worked in the store, so if you've shopped in store with us before, or you called in, likely is you either talk to me or talk to me in person. But yeah, no, that's a lot about me.
Beautiful. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump right in. You know, we got a lot of people waiting. We got a lot of questions coming in. I already got a nice big list from a lot of the questions we get. So we'll try to get through everything as you guys are having questions. We got John and Madison manning those, so they're going to be sending them to me. Also, we may do a few giveaways throughout the show. We will, to somebody at the end of the show, you got to be here, we'll be giving a bottle of the Decadurabolin away, which is the new Prohormone from High Tech.
Mm-hmm.
So one person's going to get one of those. And I believe to sign up for these, John, there's a form, a link to a form. So in the chat box, so if you're on YouTube, you're on YouTube, obviously. If you do log in, there's going to be a chat there. There's going to be a link where you can fill out the form and be entered to win the giveaways and the Decadurabolin. Otherwise, right below this video, there should be a link in the description, and you can fill out the form there, and you'll be entered to win. So hopefully that answers everything. And throughout the show, another thing, big thing, people are here. 20% off site-wide using the coupon code FITMASS 20. It's like Christmas 20, but FITMAS 20, the number 20. And you'll get 20% off anything from our website. And when's that expire, John? Midnight. So you got till midnight to use it. All right, now we're ready. Okay. So guys, so first, one more note. We are not doctors. These are our opinions. So take them with a grain of salt. But again, not one of us are doctors, right? No. No.
Maybe.
Okay. All right, Prohormones. Quickly, What are they and how do they work?
Well, prohormones are, well, the ones now are all DHEA-based substances where they go into the body and they'll either convert into a DHEA sulfate or pure DHEA itself, which is the first step of hormonal conversion. Helps to induce any type of testosterone in the body, which in return can also help increasing nitrogen retention, oxygen retention, help building muscle as well. So, and then each compound, depending on what it is, does a little something different. So, yeah.
Okay. And I'm guessing, how safe are they? Legality issues?
Legality issues, not anymore. Because they're not the pure andro form anymore, like they were back in, I think, 2014 when the ban was made. Now they're fully legal. And safe-wise, honestly, they're a lot safer than almost any other supplement out there. One big thing I know High Tech especially is big on this specifically is all his prohormones are non-methylated, so they won't give you any kind of liver toxicity or anything like that, or like raised liver enzymes or anything. So you wouldn't even have to worry about that either. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Some questions that we've built up over time. Jordan, I know you've taken prohormones. I think you're on prohormones right now.
I am.
Okay. How long does it usually take to kick in, would you say?
It varies for each person. Usually the most common thing that I hear from customers is the first couple weeks, they notice a real good increase in strength. All their lifts are going up, strength is going up. But if you're looking for more of like physical results, it usually, it's give it a month. I would just say is the average time. Again, it's to each his own. Everybody's going to have their own different results, and it depends on your training style. It's going to depend mostly on your diet, what you're trying to do. You're trying to cut, you're trying to bulk. It's all going to depend. But you got to give it some time. If you're taking these prohormones and 3 days in, you're not feeling anything, well, you haven't waited long enough. That's something I hear quite common is I'm on day 5, I haven't noticed anything. Just like with any supplement, you got to give it time. Your body's got to adjust to it. You're adding a whole new hormone in your bodies. Your body's got to figure out what to do with it. Again, give it time. I would say around that month, you should really start noting a physical change as long as you are training correctly, you are dieting, you are resting correctly. There are other factors that really go into this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you're saying it give it a month.
Mm-hmm.
So how long should a cycle be then?
Usually what I recommend is 8 weeks. So for most products, most high-tech prohormones, it's usually about 2 bottles of each. So normally recommend 8 weeks on, followed by 4 weeks off of post-cycle therapy we recommend for most prohormones.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so before we get into some more in-depth questions, some bigger ones are questions people have. Can prohormones cause depression?
I don't think so. If anything, they probably uplift your mood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Generally speaking, your body, free testosterone is what our body uses on a daily basis. So anytime that's, upscaled or leveled to any slight bit, your body will naturally, your mood will naturally enhance as well too, and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't see how this would cause depression.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless you're taking some kind of medication and it's somehow interfering, but I think other than that,
So yeah, definitely on the prohormones, you should feel more like uplifted because your testosterone is going to be higher than it normally is.
Mhm.
If you more or less, what I'm trying to say is crash your testosterone or you got low testosterone levels, that's usually where the mood swings, kind of the depression kick in.
Yeah, because you usually would feel more kind of alpha, right?
You should.
On prohormones.
You should feel like an
Yep.
alpha, not a beta.
All right. And again, we're not doctors, but ED, erectile dysfunction, any issues with prohormones?
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
No.
Not with these ones.
Yeah. Unless your T levels are already at a static drop, and the prohormones aren't boosting them up to where they kind of should be at a stable form. But a lot of different factors go into ED as well too. Overall feel is one thing. Anxiety and overstress is another thing too. What else?
Blood flow is huge.
Yeah, blood flow obviously is going to be the biggest key factor.
Yeah, like blood pressure, you got high blood pressure, cholesterol. Those are all going to be things that affect that, which we do have a line, MD Science. I know it's off topic, but if you're someone who struggles with that, that is a big brand that we sell here that can, it's a lot of natural herbal-based ingredients to help with blood flow, for those who struggle with ED. So definitely check those out.
Yeah, and you do get 20% off
Yeah.
right now with FitMiss20.
Mm-hmm.
So that is MD Science was the
MD Science, yeah.
MD Science. So
It's a really
that's on
popular
our
brand we
sites.
brought in.
Okay, how about, and this is a big concern I know with anybody taking anything with testosterone, hair loss. I understand that maybe some of the prohormones that are available may be worse for hair, some are better, or what are your guys' thoughts?
I'm very skeptical on this one because I mean, I've had a couple people tell me that they feel like their hair is thinning out and all this and that and it wasn't because it wasn't until they started taking the prohormones. But it's like, okay, for one thing, I don't think this would actually raise your DHT levels to an extremely high amount to where you actually will feel your hair falling out or your hair will get thinner or anything like that. And a lot of it is actually genetic as well too. So if you're prone to being bald, you're going to be bald.
Mhm.
Like that's just plain and simple.
Yeah.
Will raising your hormones have a slight effect on that? I mean, they probably could, but again, I don't think your DHT levels are going to rise up to that level to where they would cause that.
Mhm. And for instance, if you are someone who's really worried about that, there's two ingredients or two products that I really recommend: boron and saw palmetto. Those are really well known for blocking DHT. So again, this really isn't going to affect your hair that much, if anything, not at all. But again, if you are really worried, pick up those two products and take them while you're on cycle. It'll definitely help.
Okay, perfect. So we got those two products. Okay, this is a question, you know, I've saw a lot, but are SARMs prohormones and are what are the differences?
They are not prohormones. So as I explained at the beginning of the video, prohormones are DHEA-based substances. SARMs, so obviously the meaning of the abbreviation SARMs is selective androgen receptor modulators, meaning that these compounds will bind to certain androgen receptors in the body, meaning they will have an alteration on your hormones, specifically in your natural-based hormones, to where some of them can possibly give you a slight bit of shutdown, whereas prohormones don't do that. Those are normally going to be, I guess you can call them methylated, so where they can actually, increase liver and kidney enzymes as well too, which is a huge negative aspect. And then even coming off doing a PCT, you would actually need a prescription PCT for these compared to prohormones, which you don't. So
Okay, good to know. Common question also that we get from a lot of people, especially in the military, and I don't want to say this is a definite answer. You should always contact your governing authority, but drug tests, any issues with people, depending on what they're getting tested for, I guess.
yeah, a lot of it. I want to say no. And that's just my personal opinion on it. I want to say that you won't get, it won't pop up on any kind of drug test, but it is going to depend on how they test you, and how long you've been running a cycle or how much you're taking or whatever it is like that. Because I mean, again, the fact that they're non-methylated plays a huge role in how they actually get filtered into your system as well. So if a lot of it's not getting filtered through your liver, it's like, what are you really gonna urinate out more than anything? But yeah, I mean, every branch should have a different or the same, should I say, list of like banned substances and all that kind of stuff. So just double check with that before anything. So just be on the safe side.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. All right. Let's move. Well, let's talk about, we're like I said earlier, we're going to be giving away a bottle of the Decadurabolin. So can you guys tell me about this new product from High Tech? What is it? Who should, I mean, depending, I guess, what's a person's goal that should be taking it? Is it to cut? Is it to build muscle? Is it to bulk?
I would say it's for both.
Could be used for both.
Yeah. I mean, it's essentially Decadurabolin. If you're looking at High Tech's, what's been out for years is Decabolin. That is a 75 milligram tablet of the 19-norandro that you take twice per day. So you're getting 150 milligrams of that compound. Decadurabolin is a 1 tablet serving size of the same compound, the 19-norandro, but you're getting 200 milligrams. So it's not much, 50 milligrams more dose, but you're only taking it once per day. So, I mean, Deca, I've used on both cutting and bulking cycles. It's really, really good for strength. I get really strong on Decabolin. I don't know about your opinion on that one, but I get really strong on the Decabolin.
Yeah, that's the one thing that, so it will convert to a metabolite of nandrolone in the body, which nandrolone actually helps a lot with holding on to as much muscle as possible. Helps also to kind of give a slight lubrication to joints as well, to make sure that if you are lifting heavy, you're not going to put any kind of excess stress and strain the muscle too much. So I'd say you can use it for either or. I mean, because one thing when you're leaning out, I remember when I used to cut down for a show. Come like 4 weeks out when I'm still trying to lift mildly heavy, I would feel a lot more strain on my muscle because there's hardly any body fat to it, but it's so it's a bit more sensitive to it. And then with bulking, obviously, you feel strong all this time, whatever, but you still can be prone to hurting yourself and causing high amounts of inflammation as well. So it's that'll kind of help be that median towards the both to kind of help keep you on the safe side with that. So.
Okay. And I know the Decadurabolin's been very popular. I think we went through like 300 bottles within like a week and a half or 2 weeks. If someone is going to purchase that today, I know we're getting it back in stock like next week. But what's a good Prohormone to stack it with?
One, testosterone, I would say, probably one of the better ones. Both of them being dry agents. You wouldn't need to take something like a Aromastane in between or something like that to get rid of any kind of excess water weight. That maybe 1 AD, I'd say.
Yeah. Actually made a stack on the supplement warehouse side. I think is a really good one. If you're trying to put on a little bit more size, maybe do a bulk, Helidrol would work really well with that. Another one too, Dianabol. Trying to put on some size, so you'll get in that 4 andro, so that's going to be your bulking agent. Throw in Decadurabolin with that one. I think that'd be a real good stack.
Matter of fact, I know a lot of you are a fan of the Edwin Cutting Stack. We made an Edwin Cutting Stack 2.0 that actually includes the Decadurabolin in there, so you guys can actually give that a try. And it is a full 8-week supply as well, too. So that way you guys can do a one and done order with that. So
excellent.
The super mega Edwin Cutting Stack.
All right. So a few questions here as we go through this. Had one question: how to combat blood pressure increases with prohormones? Any thoughts on that?
A couple things can go into that actually. Control bulking. Non-supplementation wise, control how much sodium you're intaking throughout the day, how much water you drink throughout the day, getting an adequate amount of sleep, and then how much stims you're also getting in the day as well too. So, and then supplement wise, Aromastane is we'll call it an ancillary compound for Prohormone, so they can actually help kind of block estrogen while you're on cycle, which will also help to maintain water retention levels as well. So that way your blood's not getting overly thick to where it'll cause a lot of blockage and then having high blood pressure from that. So
yeah. All right. Yeah. Good answer. Okay. What would you guys' recommendation for the best Prohormone or Prohormones for beginners? Never taken a Prohormone cycle before. What would you push somebody to?
I'd say the easiest one, if you're just looking for something standard, 1 AD or 1 testosterone. Those are the easiest ones. They're both 1 andros. The main difference is 1 AD is going to be a 75 milligram dose of the 1 andro along with 50 milligrams of the Laxogenic, which is a natural plant-based muscle builder. If you want something a little stronger, think that's not enough, 1 testosterone, you get 110 milligrams per dose. Those are the two most common. If you've never taken anything before, you're worried about side effects, 1 andro is virtually side effect free. You're going to be fine. Nothing bad's going to happen. Those are easy ones to start with.
Yeah, I'd say the same too, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of questions about cutting cycles, so I'm gonna jump up ahead for
bulking season. What?
Yeah. So some people are asking, okay, so what Prohormones out of the list that we sell would you say are best for cutting?
So, 1 test, 1 AD, those are easy. I like having those as a testosterone base, but if you want to throw in the Prohormone, that's going to help with shredding you up, removing excess water weight, building lean muscle. I think my go-to one is Winstrol. Winstrol is real good. If you want to try something different, Dimethazine is real good. If you're not looking to stack multiple, High Tech has one called Primobolan, which is going to have the 1 andro and that epi-andro. The epi-andro is essentially what is going to be the cutting Prohormone.
Yeah.
It's lean muscle, remove excess water weight. It's a drying Prohormone is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Edwin agrees.
Same one.
So I like Winstrol. I've taken both, and I do like. I like the Dimethazine. I think it's really well. It's a much higher dose, but I feel the Winstrol a lot more, especially when I'm working out.
Well,
Real tight.
it's fast active version.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. So
yeah.
Okay.
Or guys can just go and pick up the Edwin's Cutting Stack 2.0.
Edwin's got a cutting stack too.
A little
huh?
bias. Promotional show.
All right, with the wind straw. Someone's asking, can they take it at the same time with aromatase?
Yes.
You don't really need it.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't need aromatase for it.
Mm-mm.
Because you're not really retaining any type of water from it, so it already is a drying agent. So overly drying out yourself, like I said earlier, it's not really the greatest thing to do. Also, you need to have a safe amount of estrogen in the body as well. So you're getting that spike of testosterone, but at the same time you're trying to block estrogen. You can kind of get that, like it's called a hormonal crash, where like you need that healthy amount of both. You know, so there needs to be a certain ratio in the body of how much you need to have of each. So if you crash your estrogen levels too low, that can also give you the same kind of detrimental feelings as if your estrogen levels were way too high. Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, just throwing like a little disclaimer out there because I see a lot of this on a lot of our orders. Is a lot of people buying the one andro, the one testosterone, or the Winstrol, the dimethazine, but they're also taking in aromatase with it. Any epi-andro, one andro, you don't need an estrogen blocker because nothing's actually converting to estrogen. You don't have an AI, you don't have an aromatase, conversion. Anytime you have like a 4-andro, it's recommended because you're converting that 4-andro to pure testosterone, so there's going to be a higher aromatase conversion. You still don't technically have to take it unless you start experiencing some side effects, maybe excess water weight, mood swings, or if you're prone to acne or anything like that. Aromatase is really optional when it comes to like the 4-andros, but yeah, 1-andro, epi-andro, you don't need it.
We get a lot of questions about people asking if they can take aromatase on its own without hormones.
You could, but you really don't need to. Again, as Edwin's saying, I mean, if you don't have high estrogen, you don't need it. The last thing you want to do is crash your estrogen levels. That's actually worse than crashing your testosterone levels. You don't want to completely throw off your hormones because, I mean, it's going to mess up everything. Your hormones, your mood, your body weight. You're going to throw everything off. So if you're someone who's just continuously running aromatase on its own, I don't think that's the best idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so going on with aromatase then, if someone's on a 8-week cycle and let's say they're taking a 4-andro or they're bulking, should they take aromatase like during the entire cycle? I know you talked about wait until the side effects, but what if they're like, no, I just want to be safe throughout? Should they take the whole 2 bottles throughout 8 weeks, or?
I would say you probably only need one, because I mean, even though it says take 1 tablet twice daily, I usually just recommend take 1 tablet once daily. So that way, at least that way, you get a full 8-week supply of it, and it'll last you throughout your whole cycle. So that way, you're still kind of maintaining to the point where you're getting rid of a lot of that excess water weight or too much of it that you build up, but you still have enough to where your body can actually still, stabilize your hormones the way they should be, and that way all the compounds can work the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so along with somebody's on a cutting cycle. Let's say someone's taking your recommendation, they're taking one testosterone and they're taking dimethazine. Can they take anything else, like a fat burner or anything other products they can add on there to cut even more?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you can definitely throw in any fat burner. I mean, the one thing I will always, first thing I always ask about someone with a fat burner is just how their caffeine tolerance is. Fat burners, I usually like using them for like morning cardio, but if you're someone who, you don't have time in the morning, you work early, you could use fat burners in place of a pre-workout. What I like to do is do like a fat burner with like a pump product, so I'm still getting that nitric oxide support, but I would never stack a stim-based fat burner with a caffeine-based pre-workout. That's too much caffeine, and too much caffeine is a vasorestrictor, so you're restricting blood flow, which none of us want that. You need your blood flow. You're trying to grow muscles. You need to fill the muscles up with as much blood as possible to get them to grow. So yeah, you could definitely take a fat burner if you're on a cutting cycle, prohormone cycle.
Adding on to that, I mean, if you don't want to do a stem-based fat burner, so one of High-Tech's sister brands, the Top Secret Nutrition, has the Fireball carnitine, which I think is a fantastic non-stem fat burner. It does contain the grains of paradise, the paradoxin in there as well, which really gets you sweating a lot. Doing like a cap full of that with your pre-workout, you'll definitely see yourself sweating a lot more during your workout. So.
And if you like the Fireball whiskey, that Fireball cinnamon flavor,
you're insane for liking that flavor.
It's amazing.
Just go
like
cherry.
Fireball.
So
I know
better.
Madison likes the Fireball. Yeah, she does. So that is a great flavor if you like Fireball.
Or if you're not disgusting, they have cherry, green apple, and pineapple. 3 so much better flavors.
Yeah.
I like cherry. It's a good flavor.
You know, if people start buying this for the show, we'll see who buys which flavor the most.
Cherry.
Fireball.
Green apple.
All right. Okay, so we talked about a little bit about aromatase. What's the difference between, a lot of people confuse this, aromatase versus aromaplex?
So aromatase is just the aromatase compound by itself. That's all you're getting in that bottle. Aromaplex is going to be a full spectrum PCT. So it's going to have the aromatase in there. It's also going to have some active ingredients to help with boosting your free test again. So I think it has like fenugreek in there, and then it also has getting some saw palmetto, some milk thistle as well. I think I'm getting like 2 other ingredients.
There's a cardiovascular section to that too.
No, right now. Huh?
There is, right?
I think that's it right there. Where's that Asta? It's Asta.
No, it's Flex.
No, okay.
But regardless,
yeah.
Aromatase is a post-cycle.
Yeah, it's full spectrum post cycle. That it's going to include the aromatase compound in there, but whereas aromatase is just the aromatase by itself.
Yes. So that being said, if you are taking aromatase on cycle, once you do start that post-cycle of aromatase, cut out that aromatase because there's already aromatase in the aromatase. You don't want to take away too much aromatase. No, not too much estrogen blocking because, again, we already explained, don't want to crash your estrogen.
Okay. And this is one question we got from one of our viewers, and I've actually got it from a few customers before, but a lot of people are wanting to take Aromatase on cycle. Can they? Is there any reason to, or should they not?
I think that's kind of pointless.
Yeah. I mean, if you're wanting something, because if your idea of taking Aromatase is because you want it for like the natural testosterone boosting during cycle, save Aromatase for post-cycle. Pick up testosterone 21. That's a wonderful, just natural test booster where you can take it on cycle or something year-round. Fedosia agestris, Tonga Ali, 2 really, really good herbal ingredients that actually have backed research to boost testosterone on the point scale. You're also going to get the Chaos M ashwagandha, which is great for cortisol blocking, stress relieving testosterone, and the OptiZinc as well. Good for your immune system and great for testosterone. So save the Aromatase for post-cycle. You don't need it on cycle. Pick up a bottle of, testosterone 21. You got balasterone too, which is high-tech's, one of the original natural testosterone boosters. But I would truly recommend that Test 21. I think that's the best natural testosterone booster you can get on the market right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is what feedback that I've gotten from customers. I'm not saying this is going to work for everybody. I've had 2 customers already tell me that it's actually shot up their overall testosterone by about 200 points.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of them we got in the last
impressive.
Q&A. That is very impressive,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. But that should show you how well the product actually works for a lot of people. But even just in general, like overall feel of people that I've gotten in the store, I've had nothing but positive feedback on. I've never had a return on it, nothing like that. So.
Yep. And testosterone 21 is something I take.
Yeah, no, it's solid.
It's
honestly. It's a good product.
great natural one. Okay, talking about differences. How about Aromatase versus Novadex XT?
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I believe Novadex XT has it's a 7 kilo DHA or a 6 kilo DHA.
I believe so.
So it's a metabolite that actually helps to block estrogen, whereas Aromatase having the aromatase in there, aromatase actually just helps to kind of hover over estrogen, so that way it doesn't end up going up higher than where it's already at, basically. So I feel like if Jordan mentioned earlier, where you're getting too many of those side effects, too much of the bloat or anything like that, the rare case of gyno, you'd probably want to go with something along the lines of like Novadex XT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right, so let's switch it up into bulking.
Ooh.
Same questions. What's your guys' favorite prohormones and/or prohormone stacks for bulking?
I think my go-to stack is the Halodrol and the Equipoise, I want to say.
Equipoise. I started taking that, and my appetite was just crazy. I had to stop.
One of a bulk.
Yeah.
Not all of us are afraid to eat like you are, Jeff.
Seriously.
I don't think I was going.
He's
for
afraid of carbs, guys.
I don't think I was going for that huge bulk, but no, I was eating snacks on snacks on snacks every night.
Well, that's the thing about the Equipoise. It's the 1,4, which is going to convert to Boldenone in the body. So if you're someone, who you want to put on some size, but you're having trouble eating. You just don't have the appetite, struggle to get a lot of calories down. Bolano will actually increase your appetite. So an easy stack right there. Two big prohormones that will help with the appetite are Equipoise and Dianabol. So that's an easy bulking stack right there. If we're talking about favorites, I'm a huge fan of the Supp 250. I think that's one of the best.
That's right there.
Yeah,
Little box
bulking
in front of you.
prohormones we got. It's got 4 different versions of the 4-andro. So, I mean, you're going to be getting mass, strength. And if you want to throw something along with that, I mean, Decadurabon, you could throw that on there. Equipoise, Dianabol. But yeah, just like a single product, Supp 250 is great.
Yours? A fave? Are you agreeing?
I was the first one to say it.
Oh, you were? All right. It's getting late. We've been here for like 12 hours, but
True.
all right. So with bulking then, are there any other supplements outside of the prohormones? Someone's like, I want to gain as much weight I can this winter. Besides eating, of course, you know, that's the most important thing. Any other supplements that they should or you recommend to take?
Yeah, actually. So we went over this in the fat burners Q&A that we did last month. One thing that it's kind of like it's an underlooked supplement, but GDAs. Obviously, guys, when it comes down to bulking, you want to increase your food. However, you don't want to always increase, like fat storage, all that kind of stuff too. So GDAs is a glucose disposal agent. High-Tech has one called Insulode, which I think is phenomenal. When I like to test try a whole bunch of them to kind of see which ones, how many grams of carbs I can do with each one of them, and see where it sits right. I did 1 tablet of the Insulode, and I mean, about 75 grams of carbs sat pretty well with me, to be honest. And that's a hefty amount as well, too, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, I think, if you're trying to get in more carbs, especially like, during the points of time of like the day as well. So like, I like to eat a lot at night too, which isn't the greatest thing sometimes.
Like your bow tie pasta and chicken that you made last night?
Dude, freaking phenomenal, all right?
Sounds delicious.
But yeah, so taking the GDA can actually help with uptaking that glucose a little bit easier, so that way your body's not automatically storing it as like a fat storage, basically, to where it's not being utilized or anything like that.
Yeah.
So driving it to the muscle is going to help a lot more when it comes to just letting it sit there and try to digest it. So
how do you take that? I mean, if you take it right before, I guess, a carb meal. Would you take it through all your meals, or just like the biggest one of the day?
You can take, I would say, up to about 3 times a day. So 2 times I would for sure take it is right with my first meal, and then with my last meal of the day, basically. There's some people I know who take it with their post-workout meal, or even with their post-workout shake if they do like carbs and protein or something like that. It's basically just gonna it's to help kind of give you that slight spike of insulin, but not too high, to where you'll get like a blood sugar crash or anything like that. So, and again, just to kind of help uptake those nutrients a lot more efficiently as well. So,
yeah, perfect. Okay, so we got bulking down. Got any more questions, just post them and John will send them our way. We talked a little bit about support supplements. We talked about the Rimastane, the Rimaplex, and Novadex. How about the Liver RX? Is that something that's required, or is it complementary that you can just add it?
It's an optional product. Again, High-Tech's prohormones, like some diprohormones, they're non-methylated. So when you do ingest it, it's not going to affect your liver, no toxicity, anything like that. If you're someone who just wants to take a supplement to keep your liver healthy, Liver RX from High-Tech's fantastic. High-Tech has a just standard milk thistle product and an NAC product. I'm a big believer in everybody should just be taking NAC in general. It's wonderful for your liver. It does a lot of really good things for the body. But again, because these are non-methylated, there is no liver toxification. So it's not required. It's an optional product, but it's just good to have for liver support, liver health in general.
Okay, so because it does, sorry, I'm answering questions here. So it does help with the liver. So would this be a good time to take it with New Year's Eve coming up and drinking? Does that help at all?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Help keep those liver enzymes down. Don't want to go to the hospital for any reason. Taking it as an overall. And plus, if you guys are taking other supplements as well too, you got to remember those actually still have to drive through the liver as well, which can kind of put some strain on there, on top of your eating and all that kind of stuff too. So yeah, it would be a great product to have in your arsenal, whether you are taking prohormone or not.
Yep.
So.
All right, stack those with those party caps.
Yeah.
Ooh, party caps. A little euphoria.
Euphoria. Yeah, that's a
Euphoria's
good one
good.
too. Yeah, right before you go out, it's a good product.
Mhm.
All right, I'm going to throw in some random questions here. I think we could talk about this. It's not like we sell it, but what are the best prohormones to use if you're currently on tescipinate for bulking and for cutting?
Anyone. Let's see. Bulking agents, again, you can any of the ones that we named off, so like Haladrol, System 250,
Mhm.
any of the 4-andros. I mean, cutting wise, if you want something a little bit extra, you can throw in a 1-testosterone with some dimethazine. Because I mean, obviously with Sip, for example, you will have that. It all depends on how often you're administrating it, but you'll have those certain dips in between. So you can take something like the 1-testosterone to kind of help keep levels elevated the whole period of time. The Winstrol along too with it when it comes to cutting. So, by the way, guys, that's another disclaimer. I still get a bunch of these emails. These are not the actual steroids. So even though it says Winstrol, okay, this is an actual Winstrol. This is Primobolan. It's not actual Primobolan. These are the prohormones. We don't sell steroids. We're not allowed to sell steroids. That's very illegal.
That Anavar isn't actually Anavar?
No, it's not actual oxandrolone.
What?
That's why there's 633 milligrams per serving.
As opposed to the 10 milligram.
Yeah.
So we would not be selling that through the USA with you guys easily be able to contact us like over the phone or anything. We would have been shut down a long time ago. And I know we're saying steroids, so please, YouTube gods, do not take down our video. But all right, so thank you for that, Edwin. Okay, so we had a few questions about Supergirl. Supergirl is a pretty strong one, only lasts about 20 days. What's so good about it, and who should use it?
Supergirl is a great, again, one of those either great bulking or I mean, I guess we call it a cutting agent, sort of say, because it is technically a dry agent as well. So it does contain the 1-andro and a 4-andro compound in there, or blend, should I say. So, I mean, you can use it for either or. I've recommended it more on the lines of like lean bulking. So if somebody doesn't want to take too many 4-andros, they prefer to, just kind of put on those few pounds, but still keep a nice full looking muscle bellies and all that kind of stuff. I've recommended like a 1-testosterone and Supergirl stack. I've had actually one of my best friends take it, and he, put on a decent amount of size in the full 8-week period. So, yeah, I mean, when I answer that,
I think of Supergirl as you're saying, like a lean bulk, maybe throw out like a recomp. You are trying to slim down, but try to throw on some muscle at the same time. That's a really good product. Stack 1-testosterone with it. You could throw a Decabol in as well, just help with a little bit more lean mass, strength. Supergirl on its own is good as well.
Like it's 5 compounds. I think when people ask me about it, I recommend usually the Decabol because that's one of the few compounds that's actually in it. So that gives you 6 total compounds.
Exactly, and just the disclaimer out there: if you are going to buy like a Supergirl 1-test stack, you do need at least like 3 bottles of Supergirl because it's only a 21-day supply per bottle. I don't know why they don't just throw in 9 more tablets in there, but
I can imagine because
it's what it is.
Expensive. Like besides the Decadurabolin, they're all $59.95.
Yeah.
So if they had to add more, they'd probably have to raise the price up.
I'm sure they.
I think it's a marketing thing. But who knows? I'm not high tech, so. Okay, thank you for that. All right, we're gonna go back in order here. Let's see, what haven't we answered here? Okay, so you guys have talked about recommended cycle, 8 weeks. Then you take your 4-week PCT, Remoplex, Novadex, whatever it may be. When can they start another cycle up?
Honestly, if you guys want to start right after your PCT, I mean, that's perfectly fine. Or there's some people who like to go a little bit longer as well. So if you do a 4-week PCT, some people like to wait another 4 weeks, and then hop back another cycle. So it's kind of like however long you're on is how long you're off type deal. But yeah, no, if you want to, again, these compounds are safe enough to where right after you finish your PCT, you want to go jump into a different cycle or the same cycle, that's perfectly fine to do as well.
Yeah, I agree as well because a common question that I get is testosterone suppression. With these prohormones, it's so very, very minuscule. Literally, it might not even suppress your testosterone at all. You'd be fine to run 8 weeks, 4-week post-cycle, and literally the next day you want to start a new cycle, go for it.
I was going to say, I think I don't think the 1 andros do at all.
I
Actually.
don't.
I think the 4 andros, I believe it's like less than 6%, which is like literally single digit numbers.
Yeah.
So it's like you guys literally have nothing to worry about. So.
Okay. And I just want to toss in here, again, during this show through midnight, you can save 20% off on almost everything on our site with coupon code FITMAS, FITMAS 20. You can use that coupon code right in the, oh, we're off again.
All right, thank you for coming out.
Again, we're being very, actually, it doesn't look too bad. It actually looks kind of nice in the dark. So John's got our lights back on here. So FitMiss 20 for 20% off almost everything on our website. Also, if you want to sign up for the giveaway, we're going to do a bottle of Deca Durable at the end of the show. There's a link right below this video. Click on it. You can just fill in, I think, your name and your email, and then you'll be entered to win. All right. Okay, so we talked about jumping into the next cycle. Okay, during that time off, you take your PCT. We've had questions about this. What about adding like turkesterone, ecdystin, laxogenin? What products can they add to their PCT to continue that muscle building?
All 3 of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can literally stack all 3 if you want, or the Test 21 could be another one you guys can keep in there. And again, those honestly, I kind of feel like you can kind of run all those products all year round. Realistically, I'm a huge fan of Laxogenin 100 myself. Actually, I literally take that all year round. And I mean, my pumps are always fantastic off it. Strength is always good with it as well. They're naturally made compounds. So they're not going to put any kind of alteration in your hormones at all. So you have nothing to worry about with that. Like I said, even testosterone 21, just being a great natural test booster, you can take that all year round too, just for your overall well-being and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah. No, Laxogenin is great, as Edwin said. Pumps are fantastic on it. I'm a huge fan of high-tech turkesterone. One thing, because I've taken it, I've ran it for 2 different cycles now. One thing that I've noticed through both times is I get really full. I get a lot of fullness when I'm working out. So pumps are great.
What about all the people that say turkesterone doesn't work? What about all the people that say turkesterone doesn't work?
Well, high-tech has an actual certification from a lab test proving that their turkesterone is legit, is real, is the standardization that it says on the bottom. Where most turkesterones you may see on Amazon, someone who's selling a turkesterone bottle, if they don't have any legit lab testing for it, I wouldn't trust it. But high-tech does have a legit lab test. You could probably ask them for them. It's probably on their site. I've seen it. We have it. And the results are real with people who do take it. There are some guys who literally stay on it all year because they love it. They don't want to jump into the hormones, so they found an alternative product that doesn't suppress your natural testosterone, is completely natural, and it keeps their strength up, their weight up. They feel much better on it. I like the Turk. I get really strong off of it, but just the fullness. And the fullness stays outside of the gym. It's not just in the gym, I'm getting a pump. It stays outside the gym. I can tighten my shirts. It's wonderful. It's one of my favorite products.
Also, I mean, to add on to the testosterone, I know it says I take 1 tablet maybe twice daily. If you guys don't notice that, there's some people who have had sweet spots that have been a little bit more than just 2 tablets a day. I was gonna say I was doing 3 tablets, and that's when I kind of really noticed some a bit of a difference.
4.
I like
4. I like 4.
It gets expensive at 4, but
sure, that's just the issue. Is it cuts the cycle in half, so you get 15 days per bottle. So
but Jordan is right in that, one thing, I took it as soon as it came out, and the weird thing was I was bigger, I was stronger, my muscles were fuller, but I was more cut as well. I did the mirror test, I didn't weigh myself, but like all of you out there, you look in the bathroom mirror to see how you look in the morning. And that's when I noticed. I was like, holy shit, this is like, wow, this is good stuff.
Yes.
So I'm a big fan of it. I usually take it for about 3 months. I get off of it for a month just
just cycle off of it.
But I take 4 a day, yes. So
yeah, love it.
All right. So we had a question on here. Oh, okay. And this is something I've had a lot of questions come in about. Some people are they want to get the most bang for their buck. So maybe they only take the Prohormone on the days they lift, or Monday through Friday and not on the weekends, or they split the dosage in half. What are the problems with that?
Those are all problems. You got to continuously keep it in your system. If it says to take it twice per day, take it twice per day. It's not meant to be taken once per day. You got to keep it in your system. I mean, what are we talking about?
They're
Like
very short. They're
like
very
short
half-lives in the
yeah.
body. I think the one andros, I think it's only like 5 or 6 hours. I think it's 5 hours. And then 4 andros, I believe, is like 7 or 8 hours. I mean, it does break down a little bit slower in the body. So that's why you want to take it on a continuous basis, where like, you know, you can take it the night before, but you're not going to feel it the next day how you should realistically. It's already been dispersed out of your body. But yeah, no, the active lives are very, very short. So you guys definitely want to be very consistent with taking them. If you want to just take one of kind of like half the dose to where you still will kind of feel something off of it, kind of, I guess, make it last a little bit longer. Well, the one testosterone, I'd say you do like 1 tablet a day, but revolve it around your workout. I feel like it can still kind of make a difference. So, because you're getting that instant spike basically of the one testosterone that's being made by your body.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
All right, and along the lines of that, what about people that they do an 8-week cycle, but they use 1 prohormone or 2 prohormones the first 4 weeks, and then something totally different the second 4 weeks? Thoughts on that?
Yeah, usually don't recommend that. Again, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're someone who, you know, you're 4 weeks into one test and Winstrol, and you're like, you know what, I don't want to cut anymore. I want to bulk. I'm going to take Sustanon and I'm going to stack Halodrol and Anavar with it. I don't recommend that, dude.
Yeah.
You got to finish out that cycle. I mean, you're totally taking 3 different compounds at that point. It's
the only time I'd say is a exception to that is when, let's say, if you want to switch to very similar compounds. Say, for example, if you were taking the 1 testosterone and Winstrol, and you want to switch to, say, like 1-AD and dimethazine or 1-AD and primobolan, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, you're still in the same family or
right,
same compound.
So, but yeah, switching from like a 1 andro and then 4 weeks later you're taking a 4 andro, that's probably not the best idea. So.
Okay. All right. A lot of people are asking about different stacks. So I'm going to just ask you both, you don't have to explain it. What product would you take along with 1-AD?
Do they have specifications in like what they're trying
Let's
to do?
say if you're cutting, what would you take along with 1-AD?
Winstrol.
Oh yeah.
Okay, same thing as 1 testosterone if they're cutting?
Winstrol, dimethazine, yeah. Any epiandro, if you're trying to cut, have that testosterone base and then throw in an epiandro.
Okay, if they're taking Anavar and they're looking to cut.
Anavar?
It's a 1 test.
Yeah, throw in 1 test.
And what if you're bulking?
Equipoise, Dianabol,
Halodrol.
Halodrol.
50.
All right. Trying to go through these the prohormones. Okay, Dianabol. What's kind of a weird? Okay, what would you stack with that if you're cutting?
You're cutting?
Yep.
Probably can't cut too much with Dianabol.
No, is that more of a bulker?
Yeah, because that does have the ingredients to increase appetite. So yeah, if you are cutting, you are going to be restricting your calories. You're going to be in that deficit. So you don't want to take something that's going to make you more hungry.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're kind of defeating the purpose of that point.
So if you're bulking, what would you take with Dianabol?
Hard gainers, Equipoise. You really want to up your appetite. Dianabol, I like the Anavar. I like the 2 of those, or Halodrol. Halodrol is, really good.
Okay. Stacking with dimethazine, if you're cutting, I'm guessing 1 test would be your recommendation?
1 test, 1-AD, either one of those.
Okay. Equipoise, if you are bulking, I guess. What's your favorite product? Add with that.
So my favorite stack would be Equipoise and Halodrol.
Halodrol?
Yeah.
Anavar, Dianabol, Halodrol, Sustanon, any of those.
Okay. One that we don't talk about too much, halotestin. Halotestin. What would your usage be for that, and what would you take it with?
It's pretty mild, like.
Yeah, it's very similar to how primobolan is, where it's a 3-in-1. But that one kind of is made more so for as a bulking agent, so to say. The second ingredient in there is the 4-andro. I do believe you get the epiandro in there as well.
I believe there is, yeah.
Yeah, so it's 7-beta and the 3-beta hydroxy right afterwards too. So yeah, you're getting 2 forms of an epiandro, and then you're getting a 4-andro compound as well. So yeah, I'd say this is more so, again, lean bulk. So if you want to combine this with like a Halodrol, for example, I think that's a great combo.
Yeah.
So
okay, good answer. How about Heladrol?
Heladrol?
Heladrol.
Helodrol, Innovative Labs.
Okay.
So that is, oh man, that's
Like 4 or 5 different compounds in it.
I think that's the Monsterplex. That's like the 4-in-1.
Yeah.
So Helodrol, does that got a 1,4 in it?
I think that one is a 1,4.
Yeah. So that's the 1,4 is the same as the Equipoise. So
Yeah.
Helodrol, you could do Halodrol, Superdrol. You don't want to take Equipoise because you're already getting the 1,4. So throw in Dianabol. Helodrol it can be good on its own too.
Yeah.
All right. How about something we haven't talked about yet? I guess the Ostaplex.
Mm-hmm.
What's a good product for cutting versus bulking?
I mean, Osta's a 19, so I mean,
Yeah,
you
it's
throw
a
one
19
test.
Yeah. You can use it mainly as like for example, if you don't want to try decabolin, decadurabolin, kind of want to try a little something extra, you can go with Ostaplex. Okay, so let me also break this down for you guys. It's labeled as a SARM, and there's a reason for that. It's not necessarily an actual SARM. However, one of the ingredients that's labeled in there is the euchomia. Euchomia rapinoids is a substance that actually helps to open up your androgen receptors a lot more to allow for different compounds to be entered in there, basically. So very similar to what a SARM actually does, but it's not necessarily a SARM.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not actually binding to the androgen receptors, helping to open them up a little bit more. So that's what makes it a SARM, sort of say.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's a good answer for that one. Okay, so moving on. Thanks you for that. I know that was kind of quick firing there. So one question, we're not doctors, but if someone had gastric bypass surgery, will Prohormone still work?
Oh man,
Do we know?
that's not something I can even answer.
That is really hard. Technically speaking, the prohormones bypass the gastric system. So it's like that's
Maybe a question for, okay.
for a doctor.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
You know,
It
yeah, we
really
don't want to
is.
give you any kind of, even though it's just our opinion, we don't want to give you some bad advice. So
Sure.
that's something we don't know. So, all right. Which prohormones will increase DHT? Which ones are safest not to increase it?
I think if you have any increase in DHT levels, it'd probably be coming from any 4-andro.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, again, these are the rates of DHT levels are usually pretty rare, to be honest with you. I mean, if you are getting an increase in DHT, again, it could be mainly hereditary that you probably didn't know about and you probably didn't get tested. Which blood work is actually a huge factor when it comes down to pretty much taking anything or just in general health. You should be knowing where your hormones are at all periods of time, at least twice a year. I'm a little excessive. I actually get them done about 4 times a year. But just to kind of be on the safe side, kind of know where everything's at. If I'm feeling sluggish a little bit sometimes, it could be because of that. It could be something else. I like to make sure a lot of times. So, but yeah, generally speaking, for example, if you already have high DHT levels, you probably don't want to dabble into 4-andro. If anything, go with like a 1-andro compound or an epi-andro compound. So.
Okay. All right. And we talked about if you were concerned, palmetto, and what was the other one? Boron?
Boron.
Boron. Okay. Let's see. Okay. What is now you guys spoke about 4-andro having the highest possibility to convert into estrogen. What is your best bulking stack advice if you don't want to, or you want to have the least chance of converting to estrogen? Somebody wants to bulk, they don't want to risk that side effect.
1 test and halo testing, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was say 1 test. Halotestin's 1. I was thinking Superdrol as well.
Okay.
I mean, again, if you are trying to bulk, a 4-andro is going to be your very best compound for that. There is going to be some aromatase conversion. That's just something you may have to accept. You can grab a bottle of aromatase, but just to have it, likelihood is you really probably won't need it unless you're very susceptible to, very sensitive. Again, it's to each his own with that. But yeah, 1 test Superdrol, 1 test halotestin. Something that's not crazy high in a dose of 4-andro is those 2. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this question came in. I almost want to say it's the exact same 5 compounds, but guessing that the dosage is different, but Monsterplex versus Superdrol.
Oh man, there's a
Monsterplex, okay, Monsterplex has the same compound ingredient list as Superdrol, as a matter of fact. However, it also has the terkestrone in there, and it also has the diasterol in there too, which is a patented form of laxogenin, basically. So you get the natural compounds in there along with the combination of what Superdrol basically has.
Great memory. Damn. All right. Now I know that too, because I was always confused about that. All right. Okay. We got to get into this topic.
Uh-oh. I don't know what it is.
We get a lot of questions about it. We got to be careful about what we say, but you probably already know. Can women take Prohormone?
I knew that was coming. I don't recommend it.
I was going to say, can they take it? Technically, yes.
Yes.
Do we recommend it? No.
No. If you're going to take one,
Yeah, if someone's like, screw your recommendation, I'm going to take it anyway, what would you tell them to be as safe as possible, or what Prohormones would you say, okay, these are going to be the best to take if you're going to take them, and which ones to stay away from?
probably Decabolin.
I'd say Decabolin is probably the only one you guys can actually take safely.
Do you think they could do Decadurabolin? No,
yeah,
that one's out.
Yeah.
How about the Ostaplex? Is it similar or no?
Yeah.
Let's see what
Model. Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. I think that's it's got the Yukon.
Yeah, Eucomia and the 7. Well, that's just an absorbing agent. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess the Ostaplex would be another one to take too. You guys should definitely look into the natural compounds too. So even like terkestrone, the Ectisten or Laxogen 100. I know a lot of my
yeah.
Yeah, I would say the Epicat as well. A lot of my female customers that come in here, they love taking any type of Laxogen compound or anything like that. I mean, I sell them a lot of the Epi Smash from Blackstone Labs.
It's a huge product.
Yeah, so I mean, they absolutely love it. They love the way they feel off it. They love the strength they get off it. They love how they look off it as well too. So I mean, definitely look into more of those, because again, those ones that won't actually alter your hormones in any kind of way. You also have to remember that coming off of a Prohormone for a woman, it's actually a lot harder to restabilize your hormones compared to for how it is for a man. So
you wouldn't recommend like the PCT for a man the same as a woman?
It's not going to work the same way.
Okay. What do you think about now? I think some people are taking the Harmonize women taking Harmonize post cycle. What do you think about that?
That's a great product. I was actually going to say,
Okay.
If anything, if you need to take something to help kind of restabilize your hormones a little bit, Harmonize is a fantastic product for that.
That's by Blackstone Labs.
Yeah,
correct.
Okay. And if someone, so a woman's like, all right, you know what? I'll take your advice and try to be safe about it. I'm going to take Decabolin. How long should they take it? What dose should they take?
I mean, if the Decabolin, I would probably stick to just one tablet per day, if anything. If you're trying to go more of the extreme and you pick that Decadurabolin, stick with the one. That's all that's recommended. Do not take more.
Yeah. 8-week cycle total, I'd say. Same thing. Lengthwise, it shouldn't really matter. I think it's more so the dosage. It don't matter the most. So.
All right. Okay. That was good. Nice and quick with the women part. With Prohormones, let's say you used to compete. Jordan, you are going to compete. If I'm going to compete in an all-natural show.
Are you?
Masters, maybe, at my age. If you take Prohormones, would you fail? Would you still be considered natural?
I think it depends on like the league that you're in.
There's a list that every league has, every natural league, with what you can take and what you can't take. But again, it actually goes into how they're going to test you. I don't really think. I think they do polygraphs.
Really?
I do think they do polygraphs. But you can't necessarily detect these through urine tests. So
probably okay.
Seems a little excessive.
Yeah. Yes. But again, guys, just to kind of be more precautious and be fair, I guess. Check with the league, check the listings, or check the lists they have and all that kind of stuff.
Do they actually do a polygraph test? That seems a little excessive.
Yeah.
For you, Natty.
Again,
Tell me if you're natty. Are you natty, bro? Are you natty? Well,
again,
you
I
see
mean,
that? It's going up and down.
Yeah, no,
Like it's-
again, because you can take these stuff, you know what I'm saying, and then stop it 4 days before the show.
Mhm.
Nothing's gonna pop up. Or if you take a polygraph test and they're gonna say, "Well, have you taken this compound?" You'd be like, "No." It's like, "Oh, okay."
Little
Yeah,
climb,
you did.
little trend.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that'll work. Okay. Another question came in. And we talked about some all natural test boosters, muscle builders. Another popular one, not really in the range of Prohormones, but ashwagandha. What do you guys think about that one?
I think it's a fantastic product.
Love ashwagandha.
Yeah.
I take it myself. One thing I will say is if you are under a lot of physical stress, mental stress, so everybody in the world, ashwagandha is great for cortisol because cortisol is very, very damaging to the body as far as throwing off your hormones, your stress. You're someone who's trying to cut and your cortisol is high, your stress is high, it's going to be very hard to break down body fat because you are going to be holding on to a lot. Water weight, body fat, building muscle as well. So I take ashwagandha daily. I take about 600 milligrams. If I'm really feeling the stress, I'll bump it up to about 1,200. High-tech pharmaceuticals, ashwagandha has the AstroPure trademark one and the KSM. Those are two ones that I know are very trustworthy for ashwagandha as opposed to just a standard extract. So that's something I will take daily regardless.
Yeah.
Another thing too, if you are someone who drinks a lot of caffeine, you way overdo it on the caffeine and you're coming off of caffeine, trying to take a break, that's something that definitely can help. Kind of with the side effects because again, it does help reduce and block the cortisol. So I love ashwagandha. Would definitely recommend it for anybody who's watching.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's great.
I just wanted to throw in Jeffrey Jones said that yes, they polygraph beforehand, and the winner gets the urine tested.
Oh, see, there you go.
So, just going off of what he said, but yeah, so that's how it is with the shows. All right. Okay, this is something whenever I answer questions, I'm kind of concerned about. And when I go to the gym, and there's a lot of young people at my gym, we just had a conversation about this today with SARMs and all the kids taking SARMs and getting alpha and flexing, throwing people around.
Get alpha.
But for Prohormones, what is the youngest age that you guys would recommend someone take them?
21.
21?
Yeah.
21. I mean, most bottles say not for anyone under the age of 18, but even at 18, I wouldn't even recommend this, dude.
Yeah,
Enjoy your testosterone where it's at. 21 is fine. Usually about 25 is when research says men's testosterone starts to hit that decline. I just turned 26, so I will be on Prohormones for the rest of my life because I refuse to have low T. But 21 is fine. 18, no, dude. Enjoy your testosterone levels because they are literally at the highest they will ever be.
Their absolute peak, 18, 19, even 20.
Yeah.
21, even pushing it a little bit further, but after 20, between 21 and 25, they hit like a small stable line.
Mm-hmm.
And then 25, 26, it all depends on how your lifestyle is and all that kind of stuff, or how it is hereditary. They'll either hit like a short decline or they'll kind of just stay where they're at basically. So.
Okay. Okay, and let's go the opposite way. We also get a ton of questions from 50, 60, I think even 70-year-olds wanting to take Prohormones.
Yeah.
Once you get to that age, one, is it safe to take them? And two, are there any specific Prohormones that you'd recommend for that age?
Yeah, I mean, if you feel like your body is ready for it, and you're feeling mentally and physically healthy, and you kind of just want to push that extra verge, and you're someone who's actually very consistent with the gym, lifting, all that kind of stuff, by all means, I don't see why not, to be honest.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've gotten quite a few even phone calls from customer service where I've had some gentlemen ask me that they were like, "Oh, I'm 65 years old. Is one testosterone a fantastic one?" I was like, "Dude, one testosterone is probably the best. The best one for you, best one you want to go with." But I've had some guys also say that they like taking like Dynabol, all that kind of stuff, and then I get that whole, "Well, I took Dynabol back in the day, and really got buffed up."
Yep.
You took a different Dynabol.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, older age, I think it's completely fine. As long as you feel, like I said, mentally and physically healthy, don't want to take them, go for it.
All right, perfect. Throw it in again. 20% off almost everything on our websites with the coupon code FITMAS, FITMAS 20. That's only until midnight for you people that are watching. And if you want to sign up to possibly win a bottle of the new Deca Durabolin, right below this video, there is a link. It says like Google. Click on it, submit it, and you'll be entered to win. Okay, one question we didn't answer that is actually a popular one. For prohormones, when you're taking them, should you take them on an empty stomach or take them with food? Or does it depend on the product?
It doesn't matter.
No?
No,
Yeah.
it really doesn't matter. One thing High-Tech's very big on is his patented cyclosome delivery system. So each tablet has a certain kind of coating over it that actually helps to bypass the gastric system. So whether you have it with or without food, I mean, I don't really think it'll matter. Your body will pretty much absorb it the same exact way. And that way, I mean, your body will actually absorb a higher amount of it as well, too. So that's a nice thing about them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. So let's keep on going. Okay, what is the best prohormone for increasing sex drive?
Kind of any of them. I mean, maybe 4 andros. Get more than
One andros can definitely work, too. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
one testosterone especially can definitely help out with that. Or go on the safer bet, or not safer bet, but go on the more natural bet. Do the testosterone 21.
Throw a little maca root in there too.
Yeah.
High-Tech's got a maca. Maca's real good for your libido. So Tagat Ali. Yeah, that would be real good to take even like during the cycle just to keep your libido up, your sex drive up.
Good one to do. Okay. I think we kind of discussed this, but this just came in. Best prohormone for not retaining water.
Any of the drying agents. So any one andro or any epiandro.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
One test Winstrol, one test dimethazine, Primabon, any of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Easy enough. All right. So you're an advanced user. I've used them all. I used Dianabol back in the day. I used the methylated prohormones back in the day. What would you recommend me? I want the strongest thing you have. I don't care about the side effects. I just want to get big. What's the strongest stack that you would give somebody?
Sustanon and Halodrol combined.
That'd be yours?
That's
Okay.
one that I have probably sold the most of, honestly, for someone who's just trying to put on as much size as possible and they literally don't care about anything. And through my experience being in the store, that is the one that I've honestly sold the most of, and people come back for more because I actually had one guy come in. He had been taking that for about 8 weeks, and he's like, I just got my blood work done. He's like, my testosterone went up like 600 points. You kidding me? So yeah, no, I just had blood work done. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. So yeah, no, I've been recommending it to a bunch of people since I was working in the store.
I just had a guy come in today, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
He got a Sustanon 250 Dianabol and a Monsterplex.
Oof.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's looking to stack all 3 of them.
Now, the Dianabol is one of those, like, Superdrol, right, that you have to take. It only comes with, like, 20 tablets.
It's a 20-day supply. Yes. Yeah. No, it is. Yeah, no, that's a lot. Hey,
All
good
right.
luck, man.
Okay, this one's very specific for oral users only. Let's say you want to use methandione or stanzolol.
Benzolol.
Can they take a 1-andro or 4-andro to replace the test injection as a test phase?
Stanozol, isn't that Winstrol?
That's actual Winstrol.
That's what I'm like? Isn't that actual Winstrol? Oh boy.
Guess they weren't in the
In the earlier part.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was the first one you read?
Methandione.
That's Depot? Is it no?
No, that's Anadrol.
Is that Anadrol?
I think it's
Methadone?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, sure.
Pass.
The one testosterone, actually, I believe it actually even says it on the High-Tech website. I believe the way it was designed is that when it hits your system, it's supposed to work very similar to the way testosterone propionate works in the body. So I'm guessing you can actually try taking that twice a day to help keep your test levels stable while on these other 2 orals. So, but yeah, I'd say that's probably the only one.
Okay.
You can replace.
All right, gotcha. Okay, we'll get past that. Well, okay, so kind of back to a beginner question. If this is your first time taking Prohormones, I know we talked about things with water retention, with issues if you have increased estrogen. What other side effects should people look out for when they're taking Prohormones?
So it depends on which one. Literally, like the one andro, any one test, one AD, Winstrol. I mean, we're talking virtually side effect free. It's like very, very rare that we ever hear someone complain about some side effect. I mean, the main thing that I hear is someone who's taking a 4-andro. I'm feeling a little puffy today. If you're susceptible, to acne, those are like the main two things I hear. But as far as side effects, I rarely ever hear of side effects.
I had this customer call in the other day, and he was like, "Guy, I heard if you take Superdrol, you're gonna turn into just a crazy nut." And I'm like,
Maybe the
not
old,
really.
maybe the old
I
Superdrol.
was gonna say, I've said this before. It's like, listen, if you're naturally an angry person, you're probably still gonna be angry. If you're actually a calm person, you're probably still gonna be calm. They're not gonna elevate your hormones to that point to where it isn't exceed the whole thing of like roid rage or anything like that. So I mean, other than what Jordan mentioned, I don't really think you find any other side effects to them, to be honest. So
Okay. We get a lot of questions about these LG Science packs. What are your recommendations, I guess, using a, cutting andro kit versus, say, a one test and a Winstrol? Who should use these things versus maybe just the bottles?
if you guys like, what's the word I'm looking for?
I guess like pre-made.
Yeah, pre-made,
Stacks.
organized type deal to where like you're gonna remember to take them all the time because they're just literally right there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the kits might be a little bit easier for you guys. They're pretty much the same exact compounds. Biggest difference is you're getting higher doses with the individual based prohormones as you are the kits.
Yes, and
So
one other thing to throw in there too is each kit, it's a 6-week kit, but it's only actually 4 weeks of prohormones.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna run a full 8-week cycle, you're gonna need 2 kits. They are pricey. I usually don't recommend them. I think you're better off just buying the individual ingredient because you're going to get better dosing. Probably gonna save a little bit too. But again, if you're someone who you just want something where it's already preset for you, you just literally flip the box over. I mean, if you've purchased one before, you already know. But you flip the box over, and it gives you every single day of the week when to take them, how to take them. It gives you a full breakdown. It's pre-made. It's easy. That's kind of just the main benefit of it. But again, you're gonna need 2 full boxes.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Let's run through. There's some specific questions on goals here. I know we've been talking about cutting and bulking. How about for endurance? What's a prohormone that you guys recommend for that?
I think Anavar would be a great one for endurance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You get something. You get a nitric oxide blend in there too. You get some creatine nitrate in there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it creatine monohydrate in there too, or is it just creatine nitrate?
I think it's just nitrates in there, but there's creatine in there. There's lactogenin in there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
more blood flow to the body just means better endurance.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that's about 6 tablets a day, so it probably does have a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Anavar would be the easiest choice because of just the complex, blend of what is in there comes with it. Yeah, Anavar would be the best.
Okay. So how about strength? I'm not so focused on leaning out or bulking, but I just want to get the PR. I want to beat all my friends on bench and squat and deadlift.
Mm-hmm. I like Sustanon and Equipoise. Just getting that Bolderone in there, getting your appetite up. You're going to be eating a lot more, putting on more size. Your strength is going to go up. I mean, your joints are going to feel great too because you have all that excess size in there. So Sustanon, bulking agent, Equipoise, bulking agent, but appetite increaser. I like that.
Okay. And then, which if people have watched our YouTube videos, I went through an injury earlier this year, separated my AC joint in my shoulder. I talked to you guys about recommendations for products and everything. Now, I didn't take a prohormone, but if someone is, and we can talk about some of the products that I took, but if someone's trying to recover from an injury and they want to jump on a prohormone, is there any compound that may help them with quicker recovery?
Most one andros in general will help with recovery. I mean, any prohormone will actually help with better recovery overall, because again, you're giving your body that extra boost for hormonal response. So any prohormone you go with, you'll get overall better recovery. An added product to that could be something like the Prohormone that High Tech makes, which is a natural growth hormone mimetic. So it helps to activate your body's natural growth hormone, which is probably the easiest way for your body to help recover any type of injuries or anything like that. And they are all natural ingredients that's in there too, so you don't have to worry about taking anything you're not supposed to. And it's not at a bad price point either. So I mean, taking that along with them, stacking them together, you can stack them together as well. So yeah.
Okay. And kind of, someone brought up protropin. Protropin and pro-IGF-1. Can you tell us what those products are and if they're similar to prohormones?
They're not necessarily similar to prohormones. I kind of just broke down protropin, what it is. Pro-IGF helps to actually activate your body's IGF-1 levels, which is insulin growth factor 1 hormone. That helps the way your body actually metabolizes nutrients to be uptaken into the muscle cell to help with recovery and growth. I've got a lot of customers who do buy the couple together, so they do get the Pro-IGF-1 and the Protropin together. And this is actually a lot of my older customers as well that actually come here to buy that. And they actually absolutely love it. I mean, they say the sleep's actually a lot better with it as well. The better sleep you get, the more growth hormone your body will naturally want to produce and release while you sleep to again let your body recover, replenish itself. So
yeah, it's a very unique product. Like them and Blackstone Labs, for anybody who knows that, they have what is the SST kit. So you actually get their IGF-1 product, and then you get their SST-GH, which is an overnight growth hormone producer. So helping with recovery, lean muscle. That's a real good product too you can pick up.
Okay. And you guys both have talked about sleep being so important. Can we agree Somatomax is probably the best sleep supplement?
Definitely the strongest,
yeah,
for sure. If you are a beginner and you're someone who's struggling with sleep and you do pick up a bottle of Somatomax, I strongly recommend starting with a quarter scoop. Not a half, a quarter scoop. I made the mistake the very first time I tried it, I did a full scoop. Yeah, I passed out, but I woke up and it was still in my system. I was groggy, exhausted, kind of headache. Start with a quarter scoop, build your way up. If you aren't wanting something super strong, you kind of want something to help you relax before bed. High Tech has a valerian root product. Valerian's really good for promoting relaxation. You could pair that up with High Tech's melatonin. That'll help keep you in a deep REM sleep so you wake up feeling rested. It's a sustained released one. So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is it 3 milligrams right off the bat and then 7, or is it 7? Is it switched?
No, it's 3 and 7.
Okay, so you're getting 3 milligrams right off the bat and then a sustained release 7 milligrams. So it's going to keep you in that deep REM sleep. That's what you want for promoting recovery. You want to be in that deep REM sleep so you wake up feeling rested, recovered, ready to start the new day, right? REM sleep is crazy important, and especially for muscle growth recovery. If you're not sleeping, if you're sleeping 2-3 hours a night, I promise you it's going to affect your gains. It really is. Yeah.
All right. Now we're getting down. We got about 10 more minutes of the show. So again, 20% off almost everything on our website, Fitmas, Fitmas 20. You can use until midnight. And also, if you want to try to win that Deca Durable and that we're going to be giving away, make sure right below here to click that little link and fill out that form, and we'll be picking are we going to pick a winner at the end of the show? You guys have a little spinner that, okay, so we'll be randomly picking somebody at the end of the show to send out that Deca bullet. We got Madison and John back here cracking us up here. All right, so let's answer a few last questions. If you've got questions, please get them in now. Somebody wants to know, what do you think about taking Anavar, Winstrol, Decabolin, and One Test for cutting and shredding together?
Okay.
If you feel like taking all those compounds, go for it.
If I was going to kick one out, I'd go with the Anavar.
Yeah.
Just because it does have the 4-andro in there. You can. I would still consider being obviously in the caloric restriction, because that's going to be the main goal for losing body fat. Obviously, the prohormones are going to boost you up way more, but I mean, that's fine. You can do that. My recommendation would be just to boost the Anavar and stick with everything else.
Or if you want to keep the Anavar, just do the 3 tablets instead of doing the 6.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Good answer for both. Okay, we brought this up earlier with your bow tie carb pasta chicken meal. And maybe we skip by it because there were a couple of questions after that. Maybe we just need to kind of reintroduce the product. But these carb intake products, what are some that you guys recommend? And quickly, you already explained it, but for people that are coming to the show, for the carb intake products, how they work and when to use them.
So pretty much you guys can either take them with like your biggest carb meals of the day or a cheat meal for the most part. You want to do whatever the serving size is of whichever product about 10-15 minutes-ish prior to the meal. Let it process down so that when you start eating your food, again, it'll help shuttle the carbs to your muscle a lot more efficiently instead of your body just having it sit down as fat storage. So, I mean, again, Insulode from High Tech is a fantastic one. I think my top 2 would be that, and Condemn Labs has the Humuslim.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan of that one too. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, you get both those products on our site, 20% off tonight. Okay, a few more questions coming in. Okay, Anthony's planning a bulk. He's planning on Sustanon 250, Equipoise. Should the third product be Dianabol, One Test, or Decabolin?
Sustanon, Equipoise.
Well, Anthony, if you have a hard time with your appetite, I would say throw in Dianabol in there. Because in the One Test, it's not really going to do much for you anyway, because you already have Sustanon 250. That's already going to be your test base. You could do the Decabolin if you wanted to. But like I said, if you do have a hard time with your appetite, especially, I would go to Dianabol instead.
I would agree with that. Dianabol would be the best route.
All right. A couple more questions here. Down to 8 minutes. Get these questions in. Off topic from Prohormones, but if someone's taking a Prohormone, they want to take creatine as well. What's a creatine product that we recommend?
Stick with good old creatine monohydrate. Stone Age creatine, it's been shown to have the most benefits compared to all else, so just stick with that. High Tech makes a fantastic one. They have either theirs or the APS one, whichever one we have in stock for the most part.
Okay.
And if you want to stock up on it, I mean, High Tech has the 200 serving one as well too, plus the 20% off today, guys.
Look at that.
Yep. Yeah.
Take advantage.
Okay, so we answered you can take creatine when you're on Prohormones. What about a nitric oxide supplement?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. You can take a nitric oxide supplement literally anytime.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Can Superdrol, One Test, or Deca be used on a bulk?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
it's more of a lean bulk.
Yeah, One Test and Superdrol I think will be a definite lean bulk. And again, throw in the Decabolin just because you want to, that's fine. But if you just want to go with the One Test and Superdrol, keep that as your lean bulk stack. That's perfectly fine.
All right. Okay. I think we answered a ton of questions, you guys. We got your questions in, all these questions from beforehand. I want to really thank both of you again for being here to answer these questions.
Absolutely.
These two are great. The Jordan and Madison did go through and did use a little spinny tool.
John and Madison?
No, not Jordan. Jordan's right here.
I am over
John
here.
and Madison, we've been here for how long? 13 hours, 12 hours. Madison's been here forever. It's been a long day. So the winner is, they sent me this. So where did you guys send me this? The winner is
30.
Clayton P. So Clayton, you are the winner of the Deca Durabolin. Nice job. We will email, we have your email address, so we'll email you tomorrow. We ain't staying here any later tonight. So we'll email you tomorrow. And Jordan, when's Deca Durabolin come back in?
Monday, Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday, we'll have that product back in stock. And we're going to ship you a bottle, probably throw in some swag along with it.
Ooh, we got lots of swag.
We got lots of swag. Finally got some more swag than we used to have.
Yeah.
Blew all through it during our sale, Black Friday sale. So Clayton P, you are the winner. Again, for everybody that's on here right now through midnight, use FITMAS, FITMAS 20, the number 20, at checkout on any one of our websites. You're going to get 20% off almost everything. That's only going on until midnight, so get your orders in tonight. But yeah, again, thanks guys.
Yeah.
Jordan, Edwin, experts on pro hormones. Thank you, Madison. Thank you, John. Thanks everybody for watching tonight. Have a great night. We don't talk to you. Have a great Christmas and a good New Year.
See you next show.